brand new reaction from U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, and it comes on the heels of President Trump pulling out of pulling the U.S. out of the Paris Climate Agreement. Dozens of mayors are vowing to uphold the accord on their own. Joining me now, Philip Levine, mayor of Miami Beach, and he is one of those. I'm curious your reaction. It's good to see you. What you heard Ambassador Nikki Haley just say, that the president believes the climate is changing.
Well, I think it's somewhat encouraging, but, I wish President Trump would come on down to Miami Beach. We're hosting the U.S. Conference of Mayors this month. All the mayors will be in Miami Beach from across America. And during a big king tide in Miami Beach, when you see the water rise with no rain at all because of the rising sea levels, I bet if the president took his shoes off and walked down the road and got a little wet, he would convert and understand that climate change is real, because we believe it in Miami Beach, and the mayors across the country do believe that.
And you've got clearly some evidence there. So what kind of changes have you made in your city under this deal to protect it against climate change?
Well, what we've done is we spent hundreds of millions of dollars. We're actually raising our roses, Alex. We're raising the roads. We're putting in pumps. We're raising our seawalls, building walls, but the right kind of walls, the walls that keeps the water out of our land. And of course, we're changing building codes, changing zoning, because we're adapting. We're becoming a very resilient city. Unfortunately, to have the federal government take actions against what we're trying to do, it's very disappointing. And I can tell you, for the people down here, we don't like to hear about it.
It's disappointing. Is it potentially debilitating? I mean, can you uphold the Paris Accord without the federal government participating?
So what we're doing is we've gathered, of course, with other mayors across the country, and we've signed an agreement, basically, where we've all come together and said we are going to uphold the standards and protocols of the Paris Agreement. I know it's not just mayors, it's governors, and you're hearing CEOs across the country. This is good for business. We want to encourage renewable energies. I live in the Sunshine State. We want to make sure there's incentives so we can utilize the sun, solar energy, wind power. It's almost very strange to be focusing on yesterday's business opportunities as opposed to the future. And I think folks like Elon Musk, who of course is Tesla and just resigned from the President's Council, is in agreement with that.
So when those, including the president, believe that the deal was a job killer, is it that they are just looking at perhaps the reduction in coal and gas and not thinking about what you could do there with solar power in the Sunshine State and the jobs there?
Alex, no question about it. I think what he's doing is he's focusing on his core, his base. But unfortunately, coal has served a big purpose in our country for many years. But like anything else in life, things change. Now, that'll be like the president saying he's going to reinvest in the horse and buggy industry and forget about the automobile industry. I mean, things change, things modernize. The future is in renewable sources of energy. And we live in the greatest state in the world, which is the Sunshine State. And we want to focus on utilizing and harnessing the sun.
So the governor of your state has avoided giving his opinion on climate change. He says he's not a scientist, but why do you think there's so much reluctance among politicians to even go on record with this?
Well, maybe it has something to do with campaign contributions from the fossil fuel industry. I mean, it all comes down to that. He who pays the piper picks the tunes. And clearly with our governor, we know who's picking his tunes. It's coming from fossil fuel as opposed to alternative energies, which are cleaner and safer and better for our state.
As they say, follow the money. Philip Levine, mayor of Miami Beach. Good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.